Many people tell me that they don't have any time to learn Russian, they are too busy. And that's a big problem. You know that at viaRussian we usually talk about effective and efficient learning. But this is not important if you don't have any time to learn Russian at all. You don't need to be a math genius to know that something multiplied by 0 is 0. So if there is 0 input, it doesn't help if it's effective and efficient. That's the reason why I talk today about 5 daily activities that you can use for learning Russian. Before I talk about the 5 activities, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. It is very important to reach more people because we believe it is really useful what we do and we want to help a lot of people to speak Russian. And if you give us a like and subscribe to our channel, you will tell YouTube that it is useful what we do. And then this video will also be recommended to other people. So please help us a little bit and thank you very much. Let's talk about learning Russian. I ranked the list, I ranked the 5 activities based on the usefulness for beginners and intermediates. Because when you are a beginner or an intermediate, it is very important that you can focus and that there are little distractions. This is not so relevant for advanced students. But I guess advanced students, they will not watch a video about learning Russian because they already did it. So, I just want to tell you that the highest ranked activity comes at the end. Before I give you the first activity, let me ask you, do you not have any time to learn Russian? Maybe you can carve out 10 minutes a day or 20 minutes. Maybe you can sacrifice something. For example, you can sacrifice some Netflix time, some smartphone time, or anything else. Maybe even some time of your job so that you go home earlier, or maybe that you get up earlier, or sacrifice something of your hobby. But you need to ask yourself, how important is it to you to speak Russian? If you have answered this question and now you tell me, Lukas, sorry, it's really not possible, I cannot sacrifice any of my time, then this video is for you. Now you will get 5 activities how you, as a busy person, can still learn Russian. First of all, commuting. I guess that's the most popular activity people use for learning a language. Maybe now it's not really a daily activity anymore because of home office, homeschooling, but I guess in general people need or often need to commute. So when you are on the bus, on the train, or you drive a car, you can learn Russian. What do? I listen to podcasts. This is what I prefer. Because, as I told you, especially as a beginner and an intermediate student, you need to focus. And there are distractions when you commute. So it's difficult to learn grammar or vocabulary. And that's also the reason why it's only number 1 commuting. Because podcasts are maybe not so useful for beginners, because they are not so comprehensible. And it can also be a little bit dangerous. Because just imagine you walk to the office and then you listen to a podcast about Russian pronouns or verbs of motion and you need to cross streets and then you maybe approach a street with a red light and you cross at the red light. So learning Russian can be dangerous. That's why I think now we talk about number 2. Number 2, it is small activities. So what are small activities? I define them as the things you do to prepare for the main activity you want to do. For example, grooming, dressing yourself, changing clothes. So just imagine you prepare for a date and you are in front of the mirror. And what can you do? You can learn Russian. You can talk to yourself. So you're just using words that are related to the things you do. For example, when you dress yourself, you could just say Russian words that are related to this small activity. For example, futbolka, rubашка, брюки, туфли. So whatever comes to your mind. And when you are more than advanced, you can try to formulate full sentences. And this is very fun. So you just talk to yourself and it helps you also to learn new vocabulary. But As I said, or as it says, it's a small activity, so you don't have that much time. So maybe it's better when we talk about the third activity, and it is cooking. So usually everyone needs to cook if you don't have the privilege that your mom prepares your oatmeal. So let's say you make breakfast. Then you can learn Russian. I prefer to listen to a podcast, but you can also talk to yourself. So you can do different things, and it's actually a good environment, because in the kitchen there are not so many distractions. It's not like in the metro that someone is pushing you in the kitchen or that you observe like interesting things. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Everyone needs to do it. I mean, you could skip it, but I wouldn't recommend it that you skip it for too long, because when you don't do it, basically you die. It is eating. So usually everyone eats. And what are you doing when you are at the table? So you're alone and it doesn't matter, you are in the canteen or you are at home. But usually when you eat, you take out your smartphone and I don't know what, you check something. And this is actually now a really valuable advice. Every time when you take out your smartphone, and you don't need to make an important call or write an email or an important text message, then you can tell yourself, oh, now it's the time, actually I can learn Russian. And this is what you can do during eating. So what I do, I like to watch a video like Russian interviews, but you can also do some grammar exercises or reading exercises, so you can actually learn with a book. Because it's not that dangerous, as for example when you walk to the office and cross the street at the red light, because what can happen if you are not so focused on eating? So maybe the spoon misses your mouth and you have some potatoes or pasta in your face. Then you wipe it off and let's keep going. So that's actually a very valuable activity you can use for learning Russian. But now let's get to the last one, my favorite one, because there you can really focus. There are almost no distractions and it's almost like really dedicated learning time, and it is being on the toilet. Yes, really. This is actually a very, very useful activity for learning Russian, because again, what do most people do? They bring their phone and then they sit on the toilet for several minutes and just, I don't know what, check Instagram or any other stuff. You can use it for different learning methods. You can watch Russian videos. You can listen to a podcast. You can do grammar exercises. You can practice your vocabulary. You can even talk to yourself. You don't disturb anyone when you're alone in a toilet. I mean, if you're not alone in a toilet, you probably have other intentions anyway. I didn't mean what you think now. I did. But let's assume you're alone. Then you have different opportunities and there are no distractions. You can really focus on learning Russian. And this is actually, it's very, very valuable because it's very close to a usual study session. And this activity is especially valuable for people who prefer to have longer toilet meetings. Okay, now you know the 5 activities. Let's wrap them up. The first one, commuting. Then, small activities, cooking, eating and being on the toilet. I mean, the sequence makes even sense. It's like cooking, eating, being on the toilet. But now you have the 5 activities for a busy person. So when you're a busy person, there are no excuses anymore to start to speak Russian. So see you and make use of your toilet time.